I love that song. Hey, I have a guest today sitting right next to me. I got my wife, Hedia Miramati, joining me for the Vote PYL Vote Show today.
Hi, everyone.
And although PYL stands for Placentia Yorba Linda, we're going to be spreading out a little bit to a neighboring city, a city by the name of Orange. If you guys aren't from California, it's a nice old city that has an old vibe to it. They have a circle down there that we love going down to for some good food, some good eats and that kind of stuff. Got a bunch of old houses in this one area that's I think they're like in the late 1800s they were built. Wow. Yeah, it's very nice, early 1900s. But love that town. The problem is right now is that the cabal of teachers unions is attacking one of the school board members, which I had a hand.
How dare they? So rude.
I know that I had a hand in getting elected. I was joking with our guest, Madison, which I'll bring up in just 1 second, yesterday. And you may have heard me say this before. I rarely boast. I rarely boast about things.
So true.
But yeah. In the recent election, the 3 school board members that I supported in our area.
4. Gina.
4. Oh.
Sonia.
Oh, yeah. 4. Thank you for that. I wasn't boasting enough. Won their elections after their appearances on my show.
Oh,
this is my show.
Wait, no. 4 we supported, but 1 didn't win.
No, 1 was a chamber city council.
Ah, okay.
So that doesn't count. You notice how I specifically said school board meeting?
No, but Rich didn't win.
Oh, I forgot about him. All right, forget about it. I'm going to take that whole speech back. I'm going to erase that part. But the majority, as long as we have the majority, that's all that matters.
Amen.
So what we're going to do is we're going to bring on Madison Miner here, who did get elected.
Yes.
After being on my broadcast.
Yeah.
And
sequentially, that was the order. Yeah.
And man, they took the majority of the school district over there and went to work.
Yes.
And that really upsets people. When you do some work and start trying to clean up the mess. It's really strange when you try to get education back into what is formerly known as a school system.
Yes.
That people get upset.
Apparently it's just grounds for propaganda.
Oh my gosh, I know. Well, let's not hesitate any longer. We're going to bring up Madison. How you doing, Madison? I'm going to change my background so that looks a little bit better. How are you today?
I'm great, thanks. How are you? Thanks for having me.
So great to see you. I've been following you in the local news.
Yes.
And the excitement that you have brought to the city of Orange over there and the surrounding schools. What's it been like just to get that started? How's it been from the time that you walked in the school board and started going to work? What's it been like?
I mean, just a joy. It's been rough. It's been really rough. I was kind of half joking about this being the hardest low-paying job I've ever had.
Right?
In fact, I didn't even know you got any money until I was elected, and they asked for my W-4, I think it's called. Yeah. And I was like, why am I filling this out? And I asked the HR representative.
$50 a week.
Oh yeah, no, I mean it's a little more than that, but I started laughing. I'm like, what? I get paid to do this? I mean, it's fine.
One of the funniest things in business, just talking about this with some business owners that I talk to, is that when you ever give somebody a discount or you give them a break, or maybe even sometimes do some stuff for free, they are the worst customers.
Yeah.
You're working the hardest and they complain the most about nonsense stuff. And it sounds like that's what you're going through, that you took a job that, that is, it's impressive that anybody would do it, that would give their time and their effort and then be attacked. No, truly be attacked as you've been attacked. Can you tell us a little bit about some of those things that they've done to harm you?
Yeah. I mean,
and who's the they?
Yeah.
The they. So I don't know exactly who the they is. I'm kind of learning as I go, but there's some parents that are not as like-minded as I am. There's some faculty, some staff that's a little bit angry that work here in the district. There's a lot of folks that don't even have students in the schools or live in the area that have actually been coming at me more recently. So I think the majority is probably a handful of parents after the first board meeting when we chose to fire without cause our superintendent. I was followed home. I don't know. It's weird. It's really odd because just the amount of emotion that goes behind this by folks that are directing it in such a way that, it's just not adult-like. And, being called names of all sorts. I believe MAGA Barbie was one of them, which I'm not sure how that's supposed to be very insulting.
I'm sorry, but that's kind of funny.
Yeah, I would get a t-shirt.
I laughed.
That sounds like some good merch right there.
Yeah, MAGA right? Barbie. MAGA Barbie. Apparently being blonde and standing up on a dais gets you that kind of recognition. So yeah, just, a lot of folks angry about us letting our superintendent go. They claimed Brown Act violation. The DA got involved, found us not guilty, and in fact, found one of our board members that's in the minority guilty of Brown Act violations for disclosing closed session information. Yeah, so just trying to navigate through all of that. Folks were saying, that I blindly fired the superintendent without having even gotten to know her. And they don't really listen to how I campaigned, because that was something that I campaigned on, was just my difference in opinion and philosophy than our superintendent. For example, I went to a meeting at a local elementary school before I was elected. Some neighbors that I knew invited me to come to their school to sit in on this talk. And the conversation was all based around safety and making sure, understandably, that our campuses are safe. And so some neighbors' back gates to this property were locked without them knowing it. And so they were pretty upset about these deadbolts being put on their fences in the middle of the night, kind of a thing. And so they said, we understand the need of safety, but what are you doing to increase the safety besides locking the gates of your free security guards that are watching this campus for you? And meaning the neighbors. And the response by our former superintendent was, we hired more counselors. We hired 13 more counselors. And I'm sitting there going, okay, so you're reactively hiring, you're hiring counselors to deal with the reaction of a potential dangerous situation on a campus. Why aren't you hiring, I don't know, security guards, or rush ordering the installation of security cameras and alarms and just things like that I just philosophically don't agree with, that we differ very much so in a lot of things. And that was a big one for me. And that was even before I was elected.
What are some of the other things that really seems to be upsetting this group of people that have been attacking you? What do they think that you're going to do? Or what is it that they don't like that you've already done?
Yeah, that's a great question. So a lot of what I'm seeing or hearing from folks that have differing views than myself is that I'm pushing Christian ideologies into public schools. That that one of the reasons that they are wanting to get me out is because they're claiming that I never worked in OUSD and that my kids never went to schools in OUSD, which is our school district. And so just trying to comb through those points and say, I was formerly an OUSD employee. I worked for a school that was an OUSD school. My kids have gone to multiple OUSD schools, and they don't now. That's true, but they did, and I got the experience that I did. And unfortunately, it didn't work for my family. And I don't blame the teachers that my kids had. A lot of those teachers had their hands tied. There's limits in what, for example, my son was in kindergarten, and he would come home crying every day. It was like 2 months of him crying every single day after school, even before school. By the middle point of those 2 months, he'd cry before school and after school, "Mom, I don't wanna go to school, I'm bored." And I'd say, "Are you not having friends there?" "No, I have friends." "Do you not like your teacher?" "No, I love my teacher." "Okay, well, then what's the problem?" And he'd say, "Well, I'm bored. I finish my work and I have to color, or I have to go read books and I'm bored." And so, when I asked the teacher, who was a fantastic teacher, what I could do to help him, I said, I'm teaching him Spanish at home. My husband does math drills with him at home just because that's his passion. And the teacher said, her hands were tied because if she gives him curriculum that's above his grade, then he's going to be bored in the next grade and then the next grade. And so we needed something different. Our son, fortunately, unfortunately, is very smart, and he reached a ceiling in kindergarten that made it really hard as a mom, to send your kid to school when they're crying every day that they don't want to go to school.
Wow. Well, so far you sound like a very horrible person.
Sorry.
I'm still trying to get to the crux of what is it that I'm going to play a couple videos. Why don't I do that first?
Okay.
And hear that you and other school board members like you are the enemy.
Yeah.
And so I just want to play one of the videos, and then I'll come back and we'll talk a little bit. You can explain who this person is, and then we'll go on to the next one, and then discuss a little bit more about what's happening in the school district. Once we identify these people, these are union members, teachers unions. And as I've discussed on the Vote PYL Vote Over earlier episodes, is that in my research of the NEA, which is the National Educator Association, and the CTA, the California Teachers Association, and here it's the APLE, which is the Association of Placentia Linda Educators. And then you have yours, Orange Unified Educator Association, right? They're all associated. They're all the same. They just have these little fingers that go out there, subsidiaries, but it's essentially a cabal that works against anybody they don't like, that is not interested in pushing their agenda. So the first person we have on here is, you'll tell us who it is after we play the video, but listen to his words. Those are really important.
Me as union president, I'm starting to collaborate more with some of my counterparts or my colleagues in other unions. I am going to be I've already spoken at the state council, which is the meeting of all the leaders for the state level. So it was about 700 educators, and we spoke at that meeting. And I think some contributions came in from there, some more people following the recall effort. And then I'm going to be going to some union leadership meetings, rep councils. I'll be going to Capistrano in a month and meeting with all the union leaders in Capistrano, speaking about the recall effort and trying to solicit people to sign up to be involved when signatures happen and to get money. I'm also going to be going to I've already arranged to go to Brea's rep council meeting to speak with their reps. And so that's where we are right now. On my end is I'm reaching out to other unions and getting them involved. And one of the messages I'm saying is that don't think that this is orange, so I don't need to worry about it, because if we fail in this, it's going to empower our enemies to spread, basically. And they've been very excited to try to help us out. So that's where I am right now. So I think the focus I just want to say is that is going. They're getting really, really organized, and the fundraising is the big push right now. And if you're not following them on Instagram, please do follow them. So after that, I guess.
So, wow. So this is one of the things, and I wanted Hedy to be on because she has a lot of experience in working within the government, the federal government. And I want to, because you've written a couple articles too about this subject matter. We have an organization that uses their power to attempt to overthrow the will of the people. So you have this organization, the OUSD, who's reaching out to neighboring cities, as you can hear, and trying to gin up some energy to say this woman who, and they're talking about you, that we need to get you out because you are the first spear, the point of the spear that needs to be defeated and recalled, and then they're going to start working on the rest. But it's just, isn't it typical, I guess I would say, to be able to weaponize such a huge organization to overturn the community in Orange voted for Madison and the other people to give them majority.
And is the legal status of the unions a advocacy organization, or you know what I mean? Like, is it a political? Is it intended to be political? It just seems so strange. Like, I thought they were set up to advocate for teachers' rights.
Yeah,
Right.
wages.
Yeah, teachers' rights and
Right.
wages and stuff like that. Now they're suddenly involved in school board elections and officials. It's just
It's
everything's
interesting.
right.
Well, and they kind of said the thing out loud that we all thought they were doing anyway, right?
Right.
They are supporting political candidates.
Right.
And I remember during my candidacy, a teacher reached out to me very upset and asked me, were you interviewed by, our teachers union? And I said, no, I would love to be. Could you set me up, And her response was, well, I got upset at the candidates that they were endorsing, and they're passing out flyers at every campus to all the teachers in the teachers' lounge endorsing these candidates. And I don't think it's right because I'm hearing from you that you weren't interviewed and given a chance to even
Right. Which
talk
is
to
the
the
status
teachers
quo law.
union.
Yeah.
Right. And so she said to me that she actually asked them first, did you interview Madison Miner? And the teachers union representatives told her yes. So, and talking to my colleagues, the other board majority members, they also had never been interviewed by the teachers union. So there's just this really interesting line that has been drawn. And kind of like what he was saying in the video, which I think you have the other piece of it, financially, who is it that's dictating where that money gets to go? Because if they're supporting one candidate, well, is that the full club, the full union, all the teachers that they represent, is that legitimately all, don't they have a say in where their money is being spent?
That sounds absolutely illegal to me.
Yep.
That a C3 or a C4 can collect money for a candidate and pass it along. So he may be
Right.
simplifying the process, because if they're really doing that, that's absolutely illegal. So
that's just the OUSD president. Let's listen to the California Teachers Association, which is on the same call.
is this Apple?
No, CTA is California.
The whole.
Yeah,
CTA staff person working in Orange. I've already been in contact with the higher ups of CTA. I've been in constant contact with my Region 4 manager. I did speak briefly with Joe. The officers are aware of what's going on in Orange. They are very concerned. They're seeing it as Orange is the pilot, if you will. If they can succeed here in Orange, then they know they can go to other districts and do the same thing. So CTA is very concerned, very worried. We are already working on trying to get ABC money through CTA to come to OUEA, and then we will turn around, if you will, and provide that to the recall group. So we're working on that. CTA management or leadership is aware. They are concerned, and they are working with me to bring in resources and support.
And when have you?
Wow. Yeah, so now that we have the state organization, the state arm of the Teachers Association,
Wacky.
they've gone a little crazy.
And how come, do you have any insight, Madison, on why they're choosing Orange? Because we've had Leandra at PYL for a while, and they didn't seem to come at her like this. At least they didn't initiate a recall. Do you know why?
I think, yeah, that's a great question. I think they feel, sorry to cut you off. I think they feel like the firing of our former superintendent was a legitimate cause to push for recall.
Okay.
And making up any other falsities along the way about me is their prerogative as well. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but
So it's a very dramatic event that they could point to.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. So, I mean, but they said in that video, this is the starting point,
Right.
of them, expanding their hopes to recall other school board members across our state, but also across the country.
But
You know?
I noticed in both the videos that neither one of them pointed to something like this is why. Right? These are the educational points that we don't think that Madison is going to bring to the school system. At no time are they just are, let's raise money. We can't have this happen. She's obviously a conservative Christian that we just cannot have on a school board meeting.
In all fairness, though, we didn't see the rest of the video. We only saw a small clip.
Well, I cut it. None of the rest of it has any information either. I just, for time, it's a lot longer video. I just took the important parts, and the full link is in the description. So those of you that don't believe me, the full link for the YouTube video that I've received, and there may even be more. It may have been a longer meeting that they had on Zoom, but the entire thing that I have is.
So it doesn't list the grievances.
No, it doesn't say Madison's a white person or anything like that. We can't have white people. I mean, you would look for something.
No, did they list the grievance as this firing? This like irrational firing of the superintendent?
I mean, they do in the recall documents, but no, not in that video. Not in that video.
But what's so bad about a change? I mean, what is it? Just that it was a friend of the teachers union? That person.
I don't know. I don't know if they. I don't know. I haven't heard either way, to be completely honest, of people's teachers and administrators' perception and feelings towards the former superintendent. But I did know that she had quite some time left in her contract. And so people, ask, couldn't you have just let that time run out? And in my opinion, that's, what is that? That's 2.5 potentially more years, because it wasn't until 2025, June of 2025. So that's potentially 2.5 more years of her salary, and we were able to dismiss her for 1 year of her salary, which she got
a severance, correct? She didn't go out.
She did get a severance, yeah.
Empty-handed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Well, she did better than what I wanted with our replacement superintendent. I immediately asked for his resignation. He didn't resign. But we got him out pretty quickly, thanks to Leandra Todd and
did they end up
Sean.
terminating him? How did they get him out?
He termed out. He was temporary.
Matthew, temporary.
Okay. Matthew was temporary.
Yeah.
That's I think just couldn't take it anymore. So I'm going to bring in a little bit of, I think, the reason why that they are attacking you, because one of the things that Hetty and I have been talking a lot about, and even Hetty has written some articles about, is the sexualization of our kids. And we've talked about the pornography that's been brought into the libraries at our schools, and the kids have been checking them out, and we've seen some of them. I've looked at some of the websites that are in control of the NEA and the CTA that have a QR code that teachers are encouraged when a child says, I'm depressed or I'm sad, and they say, well, you go to this QR code and it will talk to you about being the opposite sex. And
I mean, the graphic sexual content, I couldn't actually even finish the handbook. I just can't look at it anymore. And to think that children are being exposed to that kind of graphic content.
And they're encouraging kids to sext, and they're telling them how to do it. The CTA and the NEA, the APLE and the OUSE or EAA, whatever they're called.
All of them.
All
Letters.
the alphabet. There is, in my eye, even though they didn't say it, and you didn't even say it in the beginning, but it really is this movement that they really seem to find very important, that there has to be the sexualization of our kids. And if they see anybody that's going to come in and try to stop that you are the enemy, as was said here. Let me play one more video. This is on the same video. I took this snippet out that I think is very important. Hetty and I actually ran into this as we parked our cars in the parking lot of this particular church that they're going to be talking about here. But this is a group that's, that is really also probably looking at, the reasons why people like you, people that want kids to be educated, is the enemy. But this is what she's promoting. And try to pay attention at the very end. I almost clipped it off too soon, but pay attention to the end.
we could announce that we are doing a drag queen story time for elementary school kids at the church. It's going to be April 22nd. I'll send you the flyer in Irvine, and we'd like, kids to come.
Okay, did you say April 22nd?
Yeah, it's Saturday, April 22nd from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. And it's at Irvine United Congregational Church, which is 4915 Alton Parkway. And it's co-hosted between the church and our LGBTQ rights group, OCEC, Equality Coalition.
And the name of the church again?
Irvine United Congregational Church.
United Congregation.
Yeah, it's on
Writing it all
Alton.
down.
Thank you. The only other thing is that, the write-in is coming up on May 6th. And we offer $100, I don't want to say prize, $100, thank you gift, let's say, to the teacher, whether it's a high school teacher or a college teacher or a middle school teacher that sends the most kids to the event.
Did you say April 6th?
No, May 6th.
Oh,
If I
May-
said April, I made a mistake. May 6th. And I can send you, I will be sending out a special email to all of the history teachers and government and kind of social studies teachers I know. But if anybody of the, school board people might be entrusted to pass it on to their appropriate departments, that would be cool.
Okay, and that's going to be at Delhi Park?
Yep, the Delhi Center, and that's May 6th. We're going to have a registration link for the reading with a drag queen, just because we want to make sure that we don't get any haters in there. Yeah. We're also going to have some security. So if anyone would like to volunteer for security, they can get in touch with me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I'll include that. And then are they, there was something about you guys weren't going to call it drag queens. You were going to call it.
We're calling it Read with
Reading
Royalty.
Royalty? Okay.
Yes. Yes, Naz is, as you know, also on our Equality Coalition board, but I believe she's not going to be here today, right?
No, she's still just finishing up with the Girl Scouts.
That last part I want to hear, that not only are they affecting the schools, but the Girl Scouts.
Well, I wanted to touch on that, because I think what we're not realizing are the secondary consequences of sexualization. My article this week is on beware of the abuse that happens in plain sight, where hundreds of girls across the country on local cheer teams have been molested, sexually exploited, trafficked by their cheer coaches, because I think one of the reasons is also this confusion of not understanding what's inappropriate touching anymore, because when you're getting taught that, masturbation is okay, touching is okay, if you're feeling sexually active, reach out to the person you're sexually active, are interested in, then that sends very confusing messages to what is actually inappropriate touching.
Yeah.
And so this has far-reaching consequences beyond just one show.
Yeah.
Have you been experiencing the same thing we have here with pornography in the form of books that are being put in the libraries, and teachers are, encouraging children to read?
I haven't witnessed teachers encouraging the kids specifically to read those books. I sure hope that's not happening. And it's sad if it's happening in your district.
It is.
That's horrible.
Yep.
We definitely have had books that were quote unquote miscategorized in our online digital library systems that thankfully we were able to get recategorized. I feel like they shouldn't even be in our libraries at all, to be completely honest. But at least now first graders don't have access to, books that are completely inappropriate for any kid to be reading. These librarians, they do a lot of good things. And you just gotta hope and pray that they are, doing their job effectively and doing it to protect kids from any background. Because,
Right.
I don't joke about this. Would someone who is not religious be okay with a teacher handing their student a Bible?
Yeah.
Right? Would they be okay with them preaching out of the book of Luke? No. So if you're not okay with that, then why are you okay with kids getting exposed to this sexually graphic stuff? It goes both ways, and I think a lot of folks are saying, well, no, that's different. Well, no, it's not different. Keep schools about learning and learning about math and science and history, true history, and literacy. I think a lot of our education's getting so diluted by all this extra stuff, and teachers are already overwhelmed. They don't need more content to be teaching their kids, these students.
Well, you know what? I'm kind of on your side, Hedia, here. That I just don't see. I don't see why you are the target of something. I mean, you seem so down to earth, so reasonable that, I mean, and I'm not saying that our group is not.
Well,
I just want to be so clear, but we have so many things going on that we are actually attacking.
This is my theory using my investigative skills.
Can't wait to hear
that. And really, honestly, no offense to you at all, but I'm putting together the MAGA Barbie comment with the fact that they're saying she is a test case. We are using her as an example that she's a little easier to victimize than Leandra.
Yeah.
I think that they think that she makes an easier target. And as a consequence, she's a soft target.
Oh, look at you.
So
it says, I got to be tougher.
Yeah. Honestly, like they just,
and I mean, that's not bad. I mean, it just in the eyes of such, people. I wanted to say demonic, but when you say demonic, then it comes out that I'm Christian, but
they're just very hostile. They're
Yeah.
very hostile and very determined. And they say, okay, it's just like a terrorist. Let's choose a soft target. Or just like the latest killer at the school church. She went to one church that was overly fortified and said,
Right.
no, I'm not going to go to that one. Let me go to this one that doesn't have any cops. So
Right.
I just think she may represent a softer target. And that's why they're going after her.
That could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Leandra's definitely way meaner than me.
Yeah. I'm sure she takes that as a compliment. But there are people on your side. Are your colleagues coming to your defense?
Leandra commented.
Earlier, but
Hi,
it
Leandra.
fits. Yeah.
Are there? I'm sorry. Can you repeat that question? I got distracted.
That were elected with you, or that are on the board, that are of the same persuasion, that are coming to your defense, that are fortifying with you against it.
Yeah. I mean, not necessarily, taking up their swords and going at it, but we did just hear that another board member was also given recall.
There's power in numbers. So
yeah, so there's two of us now that are getting recalled, and I imagine it's because we're the two that were most recently elected. He was reelected, I was newly elected, and so perhaps because we have 3.5 more years in our term, they found us to be the most the best targets, while the other two have elections coming up in the next year.
Hey, before we end, I just want to encourage we have a lot of people watching. If you guys would comment, say hi, let us know how you feel about this topic, and if you have friends in Orange, we would appreciate you going there and voicing your opinion. And what is the process for this? What's the process?
Can you help outline for the guests so we can forward it to people? What's the procedure that's happening? What could they do to help you? What happens next?
Yeah, thank you. We need help. Boots on the ground. We need prayers. We need financial donations. Whatever people can do to help out, we appreciate it. The website.
Donations to what? Oh, you have a website? Okay, great.
Yeah, there's a website I can steer you towards, and then we have Twitter and Instagram. Can I send you the link? Would that help?
Yes.
Is there a comment? Oh, there is a chat, so I can.
Yeah, in the private chat, and then we'll post it.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Do you not want me to post it right now?
No, go ahead. That's okay. We just won't see you for the time being because you're using your phone, but that's okay.
I'm back. I'm back. It's okay. I'll do it later.
Oh, okay.
But so we have a website, OUSD recall.org.
Oh, there we go. There you go.
But now I need to make sure really quick. Sorry. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the website.
No OUSD recall.
.org or
Yeah.
.com?
Here, let me send you. I'm going to just send you this real quick because then it's
Yeah, sorry, we should have had this all set up.
easier.
We got into a
I know,
hurry.
I wasn't even thinking. Here, I'll just send it right here in the comments. All right, there it
Let's
is.
put that comment up really. Oh, there we go.
That's me.
So these
So-
are Instagram, but they
One's Facebook, one's Instagram. Oh, and a Twitter one.
but are they websites or
At the very bottom, I think there's the website.
That's okay. So what I wanted to talk about while Hetty is doing this is that what we have had at PYL USD is a number of people, especially during hot topics, like when we were banning CRT, that was my slang word, banning CRT, a large group of people would come from outside the city, outside of the district. As students from Cal State Fullerton were encouraged, they would actually be offered credit, some type of school credit if they went to community service. Yeah, if they went to PYL USD and spoke at the podium and protested the banning of CRT. Chapman University, they had students that would come. We even had a few teachers or parents that weren't part of the district that would come and speak, and it really skews what appears to be the opinion of the community. And I would caution you to maybe even bring that up on occasion. We found out through certain means. I think social media was one of them. We have people that are in the know of some of the stuff that kind of happens, but it is one of the tactics that they use is they encourage people from outside the community to make it look like the community is against you.
But
we should play their game.
And Yvonne had a great suggestion to do a rally. If you and your can do a Stop the Recall rally.
Yeah, so we're trying to plan one, and we'll post it on the website and on our social media accounts. We actually, thank you, Yvonne. We agree with you. And so we're going to try and plan one. We're actually aiming for Flag Day in June. I think it's June 14th. And Mary Barkey is going to come and speak with me.
Oh, that's great.
Leandra, I'm going to rope into it now. You know, Leandra, if you're still watching. Just to put this out there that these are, I am a mom. I live in the district. I have kids in this district. Just because they don't go to the schools any longer doesn't mean I don't have a passion for education and protecting kids and family rights and giving teachers the best tools that they can possibly have. And so we are wanting to stop this recall so that it doesn't catapult into other school districts.
Absolutely.
Like Leandra's, like yours, like Temecula, Chino Valley. And so, we are definitely hoping to have this rally get going in June. And so hopefully if you guys can follow our social media accounts and go to our website and spread it around, please.
That's what I was going to say is we have a bunch of listeners that are very active on various collaborative like signal groups and websites. We have the California Parent Alliance. We need to we need to tell other people about this because it really does affect everyone. If it's successful, as they said, as a test case, it could domino all across the country.
Right.
Absolutely.
We're broadcasting.
And not to mention that this is going to be a very expensive recall if they do it. I mean, it's upwards of $1 million that the school district has to pay for. So, I mean, that's money taken away from the kids. And firing the superintendent costs money too, but this is twice that amount. And that money's already been spent. So we're talking 3 times the amount of zero, right? So it's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's such a waste. We're broadcasting on 4 different Facebook pages, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, and Rumble. So any of you watching on any of those platforms, share them out to your audience. They may have somebody that lives in the area in the school district there in Orange. Maybe know a teacher that is bold enough to fight against the teachers unions. We have a few here in PYL USD, thank God. And one of them just reached out to me just to say, we appreciate what you do, talking about the show and
we should ask Real Impact, ask Gina to publicize it.
Yeah.
So basically everything they need to know about supporting you would be on the website.
Yeah, that's definitely on the website. There's links for financial donations, and then we'll have updates to say, any events that are coming up and how we can rally together, going door to door, passing out flyers, basically campaigning all over again, which is, such a joy.
I just want to reemphasize that it doesn't matter at this point that you don't live in the district of Orange, that Madison needs our help, and that anything that we can do to help you in that endeavor, because this will, if their intention, they said what their intention is to only start with Orange, to then go through all the other districts and dismantle what it is that we're doing. And they have the power. They have the Democratic Party
and the
resources that, that the parents, we just want to go to work and we want our kids to go to school. They have a completely different entire agenda.
And they have a lot at stake financially. The control, the legislative power, they have just a lot at stake.
Right. Yeah, that's the truth.
So again, if you're watching this, whether you're watching live or on the replay, please comment, let us know how you feel. If you have any questions for Madison, she will see them eventually. I'll make, if she doesn't see it on her social media, because we're friends on Facebook, that I'll make sure that she gets it, and you can ask how you can help and what it is you need to do to help her get through this.
Even comments on social media are super helpful. On my Instagram, for sure, Facebook, there's been a lot of outside individuals commenting and causing storms, and it's, you look at their profiles, they're not even from this area, they're from Boston or whatever.
Yeah. All right.
So it's interesting.
Is there anything that we missed that you want to say, or did we cover it all?
No, I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for having me and for all that you guys do for this community and this county. And,
for sure.
Thank you. Thank you, anyone that's willing to help.
Well, we have 6 kids, so we have a lot. We have a lot in the game.
Thank you for your courage, Madison.
Yes, thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much. All right, you guys too.
All right, take care.
Bye-bye.